Hey there, welcome to Crêpes Making. My name is David Reheis. So crepes, you're probably thinking, what are those? Well, lots of you are probably thinking of thin little pancakes, and that's what they are. I always love eating crepes. Whenever I go out to restaurants, if they have them, I'll usually get them and try them. And then I decided, hey, that would be pretty neat to learn how to make. So that's what I'm gonna teach you guys how to do today. It's a very simple batter and it's a very simple process and it's gonna be fun. So here we go. Okay, so the equipment that we need today, we need a crepe pan or a normal frying pan. I have three different pans there as you can see. I'm going to be showing you examples in each of the three pans. I have a small frying pan, a large frying pan, and then also a crepe pan. If you want to get a crepe pan, you can find them online. They're very easy to find and they're fairly cheap. So if you don't want to use one, just use a frying pan. They work just as well. We're also going to need a spatula, we need some measuring cups, we need a knife, and then we need a blender or a mixing bowl. I like using the blender. It makes everything easy and less cleanup and less of a mess, I think. So get all that ready and then we're going to move on and I'm going to show you what you need for the batter. Okay, so the batter, easy one. We need 2 cups of milk, 2 eggs, 1 2/3 cups of flour, a half cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of oil, a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and that's it right there for the batter. The butter, we're going to use that in just a couple minutes. We're going to use that to melt in the bottom of the pans to prevent everything from sticking. So you're going to take all your ingredients right there and put them into the blender or put them into the mixing bowl and mix them up until they're smooth. So once everything is blended until smooth, until all the lumps are out, the batter should be a good consistency. It shouldn't be too thick or it shouldn't be too thin. If it is too thick, you can add some more milk to it. And then use the batter right away, or if you're not ready, store it in the refrigerator until you are ready. Alright, so now we're going to show you how to make the crepe. So first we want to start with a hot pan. I usually turn the stove to medium-high heat and I get the pan nice and hot. I also melt some butter in the pan and that's going to prevent the sticking like I talked about because the batter it tends to stick a little bit. So you melt a little bit of butter and then you're going to take your batter and you're going to pour some into the bottom of the pan so that a thin layer covers the bottom of the pan. So it doesn't take a whole lot because you want a nice thin crepe. So once you see little bubbles start forming on the crepe, that means it's time to flip it over. It takes 30 seconds or less. It just depends on how hot your pan is. And so once you flip it over, the other side is going to cook very fast also. And then once both sides are cooked, you should have a golden brown looking crepe. And it doesn't take long at all. And then you're going to do the same process until you use up all the batter. Alright, here's the example of using the larger pan. So I melted some butter first, now I'm pouring some batter in, and then I'm going to rotate the pan so that a nice thin layer covers the bottom of the pan. And then I'm going to wait for bubbles to start forming. And then I'm going to take my spatula right there and I flip it over, and then it's going to be golden on the other side. And then you just cook it a few more seconds longer until it's all done. Alright, so here's a video of me making a crepe using the crepe pan. I started with a hot pan that I had melted some butter in. Now I'm taking the batter and pouring it in the pan and also rotating it as I pour so that a nice thin layer covers the bottom of the pan. And that's key. If you have a nice thin even layer, it's going to help everything to cook fast and it's going to give you golden brown all over the bottom of the crepe. Then you can see the bubbles. They start forming almost immediately. And so when that happens, that means it's ready to get flipped over. So I'm going to take my knife right here and I'm going to start to pry up the edges just a little bit so they don't stick, and then I'm going to get ready to flip it over using my hand. You can use I could use a knife or I could use a spatula also to flip it over. And then the other side came out golden brown, just like we want. And so we're just gonna wait for the other side to cook, and it's gonna be really quick also. And I'm gonna also show you guys how I flip it in the air. I just start by loosening it up so it's not sticking on the pan, and then I just give it a little flip. You don't have to do it very high, just little flip does it, and then you can flip it back to the other side. And then that's how you do it. That's how you make the crepe using the crepe pan. So it's pretty fun. Alright, so here are the finished crepes that I made. We have one that is strawberries and cream, and the other one is bananas and cream and chocolate and custard. So these are some of my favorites. You can try lots of other things. Chocolate hazelnut spread works really well on these. Syrup, just whatever you like. Any kinds of berries. So have fun with it. Enjoy it. Do something that you're gonna like. There's lots and lots of combinations you could do. All right, so now I'm gonna leave you guys with a few of my tips that I've learned. So this batter, it makes around 10 individual crepes. It just depends on the size of the pan you use and how much batter you pour into the bottom of the pan. If you do thick crepes, you're probably not going to get as many. So just keep that in mind as you're making them. Also, butter, it helps with the sticking, and it also adds to the flavor of the crepes, makes them taste a little bit better. For me, I like to let the batter rest in the refrigerator for 30 minutes or so before using. It gives me time to do some other things like get the preparation for the fillings ready. If I need to chop up some berries or bananas or make something, that gives me time to do that before I'm ready to start cooking the crepes. Because when I start cooking the crepes, I'm just going to get them all done because they go really fast. And then if you are feeling ambitious, try flipping the crepe in the air. It's fun. It's not too hard, just takes a little bit of practice. It took me lots of practice, and then I finally got it, mostly, as you can see from the video. But have fun with this. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope you enjoy learning how to make crepes. I know I did, and enjoy.